now live on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. So we're ready. He's here. He's so efficient. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is here already. No time to waste at all. Wow. Good evening, my brother. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Good evening to you, my dear brother. Should I call you Kabiesi or Oba or which one are you, or Chief? Which one is your title?
Well, I have many titles. I have an Igbo title. Onuneko, one of Etiti Mboko.
Wow. That's good. So you're a chief in life.
I'm a chief.
Thank you.
But I'm simply Dele tonight because this is a job. So I'm simply Dele tonight.
You're a very humble man. You're a very humble man. Thank you very much.
Your title. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, we have our usual protocol here. And the protocol is that we allow you to introduce yourself to our viewers so that there will be no mistake about it. It's coming straight from the horse's mouth. Please feel free. Don't be in a hurry. Take all the time in the world. Instagram is very generous.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so please go ahead. I want you to go.
Your proceed. Good. My name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I lead the indigenous people of Biafra, and also I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. And my job and my duty is to serve the people of Biafra up until the restoration of the stolen sovereignty of Biafra land is restored, and also to an extent to also serve Nigerian youths as well. I think since the whole protest started, we have been serving them very diligently every morning and every evening. And it is something that we should be able to continue into the foreseeable future or until all the demands made by the young people are met by ASROC.
Could you tell us about your background, your parentage, schools attended, and all that, please?
Schools attended, my background is quite simple. My late parents, His Royal Majesty Ezekiel Kanu, and my mom as well, Lolo Mbeme, Kanu. And I went to Lab Avenue Primary School, which was a model primary school in Umuahia, arguably one of the finest. And then I attended the best secondary school in the world, I believe, Fisher High School, then named Government College Umuahia, the same alma mater as Chinua Achebe, Ken Sirawiwa, and Cyprian Ekwensi, and a whole host of other people who have gone on to at least make an indelible mark in our consciousness, in our society. And then from there, I went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where I spent about 2 years, and they weren't doing anything that I felt enhanced my ability to understand what I was there for. I had to travel to England, where I studied politics and economics at now London Metropolitan University. I've worked in various capacities. I'm actually the owner of Alpha Phoenix Consulting Limited in the UK, which is a consultancy firm, an economic development consultancy firm. I did actually work with a lot of people like Genesis and all the rest of them, where I held managerial positions until my calling. And that calling is to help restore the kingdom of God on the face of this very earth. And that's what we've been doing for very many years now.
Fantastic. So growing up, who were your heroes, your mentors?
I think my father was number one. Only two people in my life have seriously impressed me. One was my dad, that I was very close to, that I learned a lot of things from. We never actually spoke that very often, but I used to sit around and watch him conduct his counsel, the way he adjudicated in cases and the things that he did, and most of the morals that he left me with. I remember on one occasion, I asked my father why is it that even after Sunday service, when we get back home, normally if I go to my friend's house and you ask after their father, they'll tell you that their dad is sleeping or doing something of that sort. But in my house, any time there's a knock on the door, my father will encourage us to open the door. And I kept wondering why. And he said, if you have nothing to hide, then you should be able to answer every knock on the door. That is why you need to keep your hands very clean. And throughout my life, apart from the time that these criminals, these savages came to my house, the police had never been to my house or the army with a hostile intent. Operation Python Dance on the 14th of September of 2017 was the very first time in my entire life that the army or the police entered my house with intention either to enforce the law or to kill or to arrest or to pillage or to destroy the very first time. So my father was number one. The second person is Thomas Sankara, the late Thomas Sankara, because of how he managed to turn Burkina Faso around from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, and the miracle he was able to perform. For the very first time in living memory, it was demonstrated that should black people put their minds to something, they can make something out of nothing. From being a basket case, they became the largest exporter of food across West Africa under the, should I say, the leadership of this brilliant, and very brave young man, Thomas Sankara. So just those two people.
Okay, fantastic. I think before we